We got some home brews today, folks. Hey there, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video. Really quick housekeeping note. I know you can hear the laundry going in the background. I noticed that when I was editing a video recently, and sorry, got to get the laundry done, so hopefully it's not too bad. So it is Saturday, January 15th of 2022. I know I got out of the habit of giving the dates at the beginning of the videos because I was kind of caught up for a while, and maybe once in a while posting an older one, but I'm going to try and start doing that again. And tonight, I got notes. So, a couple of beers, 3 beers to be exact, from JM over at Keag Haus Brewing. That's Keaghaus, Keag Haus. Make sure to check him out on YouTube. He's got some videos where he shows you his home brews, does some reviews, stuff like that. Make sure to go hit him up, like, share, and subscribe his channel. But we're hooked up at the not Bangor on Tap in the Summer. Anyway, it was the Summer Brew Fest in Bangor this year, and he hooked me up with some of his home brews, and that was back in holy shit, was it September? I think it was September. It wasn't quite October yet. Anyway, it was, or was it towards the end of the summer? Anyway, we hung out, did some good beers, checked them out, and I've got the Keag Haus Fall Pack of home brews today. This is the Fall Pack 2021 edition. So we're going to start off with the barrel-aged Rye Stout at 6.7% ABV. This was a contest beer from 2020. I believe you said you took second place to somebody with this one. So, except instead of 10 days, it's been barrel-aged for 35 days. An all-grain recipe that mostly displays malt and barrel flavor. Now, I'm going to run through all 3 of these tonight. I was thinking about separating them out into separate videos, but I've got a bunch of stuff backed up, and I think doing them all at once is going to, that's just going to help out my scheduling. So, now I do have 2 of each of these. I was hoping to do these with Boosh, but Boosh is still, unfortunately, not back on his feet. So, I'll save the other 3. Jay was giving me a heads up, warning me that these might be about, one of these, I believe the apple one, might be about to go off. So we'll get them done tonight. And if Boosh gets his shit together anytime soon, then, we'll do the other set of 3. So this is an Elysian Space Dust bottle, but that's not what's in there. That has got a nice head. I didn't have to put too much effort into it. I don't know about 7%, 6.7%. I can kind of get a whiff of something from back here, but that is very effervescent. Like I said, hell of a head on it, and I'm seeing a lot of bubbles. What I'm really liking, though, is that dark color. That is really, really dark. I'm seeing just hints of brown here around the edges where some of that light's getting in, but mostly quite opaque. Oh, it's a home brew. There's a particulate. There's a little fleck on there. Piece of grain. All right, hang on. Another reason I'm doing all 3 of these in one go tonight is so that I can get them done and turn the fucking heat back on. It is in the single digits out there, folks. It might actually be below 0 at this point in the evening. The whole week has been fucking frigid here in Maine, and every time that heat kicks in, I can just see the pennies trickling out of my bank account. It's been a shitty week. Weather-wise. Cold-wise. Actually, we haven't gotten a lot of rain or snow. Anyway, you don't need to know about all that. You're here for the beer. Almost, I don't know if that's quite a boozy smell that I was getting. There's definitely something there, some kind of almost sweet character to it. What the hell is that? Nice medium mouthfeel. It's actually a little lighter than it looks like it would be. There's some kind of odd sweetness in there, and I mean, it's possibly, most likely part of the grain bill. I remember Jay mentioning that he was working with some maple. Oh, yeah, that's why I watched it. With the homebrew, sometimes you get bits of yeast and some other particulates down in the bottom, so I think I've got as much of that out of there as I'm going to. But no mention here of anything mapley, so I'm assuming that's not in there, but there is definitely some sort of sweetness there. It's a little smoky, probably from the char, depending on whether the barrel that this was in was charred or not. I'm getting some woodiness, definitely malt forward, like you mentioned in the notes, because there's definitely a lot of graininess there. But like smoky, a roastiness in the finish. There's a hint of roastiness, some almost nuttiness there, maybe. That's good. Easy to drink. Definitely roasty and nutty with a hint of smokiness and some woodiness. Boy, I just cannot put my finger on that slightly sweet flavor that I'm getting. Maybe you did put the maple in this one, but man, it's a damn solid stout. And I am picking up hints of that bourbon character. I assume it's a bourbon barrel. Well, I believe you said bourbon barrel. But I can't quite remember if you mentioned that or not. Anyway, yeah. And it's smoky, woody, definitely malt forward. Hints of char, maybe some bourbon flavor, and there's just that bit of nuttiness, and there's just that odd sweetness that I cannot put my finger on. But this is a solid beer altogether. I'm going to throw a four on this one. Now on a scale of 1 to 5, a 2.5 is average. I'll try to say that only once during this video. So a 4 puts this at a really decent above average beer. There's nothing I can say that I don't like about it. So that's where we're at. Fucking good. I'm going to finish this one up, and we're going to move on to the Summer Wonderland, which is a fall apple ale. All right, so the next one up, that did cleanse with some water in between. Always a good idea to cleanse the palate when you're working with multiple beers. This is the Summer Wonderland. It's a winter warmer and fall apple ale, 6.5% ABV, an all main grain, nice, with gala apples, cinnamon, and wildflower honey from Bee Whisperer in Hamden, Maine. This is what I like. Even the homebrewing stuff. Anybody who can try and keep things local, I love that. And, bigger breweries like Bigelow and guys like that, they try to harvest local ingredients, support local businesses. It's just a nice touch, man. Nottingham yeast, English, Cascade and Tettinger and Challenger hops used. 1 gala apple chopped and placed into the brew kettle for texture or something. Enjoy. All right. I'm going to slow up here. I'm going to try to get this whole thing in here, although this one's got quite a bit of a head on it as well. But again, we want to be careful with the last bit. I think we're good. I'm not seeing a big... Well, there's a little bit there. But, nice. That is a bit hazy. I mean, it definitely looks like something that's got apple in it. And it's got a brown color, but it's like a golden brown. Also quite effervescent. Lots of bubbles coming up through there. I am loving the color of this one alone. I mean, just look at that. Like I said, a nice golden brown. It's almost a dark honey colored. There's a bunch of different ways to describe that, but that is a good looking fucking beer, man. Just dip my fucking nose right in the foam. Good at that. Big ass nose helps. I can definitely smell the apple. Now I'm getting some cinnamon off of that too. Maybe a hint, just a hint of hoppy bitterness in the aroma. It's a lovely smelling beer as well. Good looking, nice aroma. Nice medium mouthfeel to it. That's an interesting juxtaposition of the nice grainy yet somewhat appley beer with the hoppy finish. And it's got a decent amount of effervescence in the appearance and in the head, but as it rolls off the tongue, a lot of those bubbles are like bursting on the tongue, and it's got this interesting effervescent sting to it, which is actually pretty cool, and leaves like a bit of a cooling effect as well afterwards. It's interesting. There's a lot going on with this one. I'm just collecting my thoughts, folks. It's another sip of the beer to get there. Up front, there's a bit of apple and cinnamon, and again, there's that texture, that effervescent texture with the cooling effect, with all those little bubbles like bursting on the tongue. It's fucking weird. I'm just gonna put it that way. Not in a bad way, but just unusual. Something I'm not used to getting from a beer. So yeah, like apple, cinnamon, and no other spices are specifically mentioned here, but it has, pardon, a bit of a like winter / holiday spiciness to it, which a lot of winter warmers do, and that could just be a result of the different types of grains that are in there, giving off each of their own different flavor profiles, or it could be that there's a spice blend in here that hasn't been mentioned. I mean, it could also, you might even be able to chalk it up to the wildflower honey. Once you ferment all the sugars away from a honey, all that's left is the base flavor, and wildflower honey tends to have some floral aspects to it. Yes, honey is influenced by the pollen that's harvested to make it by the bees. There is a bit of a yeasty finish to it. So here's what I'm getting. I'm getting up front like this combination of winter warmer and apple beer with the cinnamon and the other things I mentioned, but then as it settles on the tongue and falls in, there's a nice hoppy bitterness to it. I'm not picking up any specific esters, maybe a hint of floral, but that could just be left over from that wildflower honey, or it could be a complementary flavor from the hops. But just a general hoppy bitterness, and in between there's a hint of sweetness. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that winter warmer and apple beer up front. With again the apple flavor, cinnamon, like almost a winter or holiday spice blend, which again could be due to the grains. That odd texture, effervescence thing that I'm getting coming off the tongue, a little bit of cooling, and then a hint of sweetness right before it goes into like this hoppy, slightly floral yet yeasty finish. And I hesitate to use the word yeasty because some people don't like that, but it's not like a yeast roll or a yeasty unpleasant thing, but you can definitely tell that the yeast is expressing itself towards the finish there without any particular esters coming forward, just a general like yeasty breadiness. So overall, like I said, there's a lot going on with this beer, and it's definitely a bit of a unique combination. You know, I think I'm gonna throw a 5 out of 5 at this one. It's a full-on 5 out of 5. Not because any particular element of it is blowing me away or making me go, wow, but the fact that there's so many different things happening with this beer and the way that they're all working together and making something that is, you know, an experience from start to finish, as well as being very easy to drink. On top of that, because sometimes when you've got a beer with so many things going on, so many different flavors, it's something that you have to take your time with. But again, this one's going down really easy and still giving you the full combination of experiences throughout, start to finish with the beer. So yeah, man, Jay, I don't know what else to say about this one. I mean, the first one's a winner too, but this is definitely a winner. Anyway, I'm going to finish this one up, and then we are going to move on to the Two Tick Saison, which is a Belgian Saison, which I thought Saisons and other bready styles were going to make a... Wait, Saison's not a bready style. God, I'm confused. Anyway, Saisons have become more popular, so have Belgians. Pardon. I guess the Saison can be more of a bready style. It either goes bready or yeasty. Anyway, I'm talking out my ass now. I am going to finish this beer and we will be back for the third one. Alright, so we are on the third and last one. This is the Two Tick Saison. I'm sure there's a story behind the name Two Tick. There's tons of fucking ticks in Maine. Harvested yeast from Friars Brewing Company. Ooh, don't tell Friars. Something people do all the time with home brews. Just got to grab a little bit on the bottom of a bottle that's got some yeast still in it, and you can harvest that and grow it yourself and then turn around and use it. And it works out pretty good. From the Friars Brewing Company's Mir Saison, which, yeah, I remember that being a pretty decent beer. I'm not remembering any particular details about it. I just remember the name. And 4 years later, brewed the Belgian Saison with it, using Bee Whisperer wildflower honey, awesome, Belgian candy syrup, all main grains, orange peel, and coriander seeds. Nice. Tettnanger, and Saaz hops. Cheers. All right, so I didn't mention this, but I did talk about the Elysian Space Dust bottle. Long Trail's Double Bag was actually the bottle that I had the second beer in, and we're looking at Stone's Tangerine Express Hazy IPA. So just pointing that out because these are all beers that Jay has had before he bottled his own beer in them. The man knows good beer, drinking as well as brewing. So I gotta say this, I don't know how you're calculating the ABV. I'm assuming you're just doing the whole, refractometer thing and taking the readings before and after, but I only had one beer before starting, and the first two out of these three, I'm doing pretty fucking good right now, so I don't know. Either I drank them too fast, or I think they're a little higher on the ABV scale than you calculated. But I'm not going to say you're wrong. Maybe I just drank them fast. I don't know. But slightly hazy, but nice. Light golden yellow color. Also quite effervescent. So the yeast may have been pretty active. Okay, there's some small particulates in there, but they're very, very small. They're floating around. That's cool. I don't know how the hell I just did that. I think I was going to grab the bottom of it and switch hands. And see, I'm not fucking drunk. I get a decent buzz on. That should never have fucking happened at this level, but anyway, it did. I'll clean up in a minute. It does have a nice, like, bready, yeasty aroma to it. A little bit of crispness to it, too. Medium mouthfeel. It's got more body to it than it looks like it had, like it should. And there's definitely coriander in there. I'm assuming the seeds may have been ground or maybe kept intact, but whatever, either way, they definitely released some serious flavor into there. And there is some dankness to the hop character in there. Was it Saz and Tettnanger? Yeah. I'm getting dankness. To a lesser degree, I'm getting some earthiness, and that's impressive for me. I usually pick up on citrus and pine in the hops, but up front, mostly just this nice bready character to it. The coriander's definitely there, and then the finish, this nice dank earthiness in the hop character. Oh, it's another really well put together beer. Fuck. Also very easy to drink. That fuck that I just let out was basically because, given how quickly these first two have gone down and how much they're messing with me, I'm going to be in pretty good shape when this one's gone, and it's not going to take that fucking long to finish. I'm throwing a 4 out of 5 at this one. Another really solid, well put together beer. I got nothing bad to say about it. Yeah. Damn, dude. Directly speaking to Jay, you got some winners here. Like, I already said what I said about everything. I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm not drunk enough to start doing that over and over again. But, yeah, man. Big thanks for the 3-pack. I'm hoping to hit Boosh up with those 3 again. And when we do, maybe I'll split them between the 2 of us. I'll do a second blush on them. Pardon. Or maybe I'll just have him drink them. See, what I want to do is try to compare our reactions. But honestly... pardon. All 3 of them are pretty effervescent, so the gases are coming back up pretty easy. But anyway, even lacking the 2 of us together to do a comparison, maybe I'll just throw his reviews on a separate video and I'll just post them back to back. No, I'll post this one first. But I'm thinking maybe I just edit things together so that I do mine and then he does it. I'm thinking out loud right now. I'll figure it out. But anyway, folks, 3 pretty solid homebrew beers from JM over at Keag Haus Brewing. Again, that's Keag Haus, Keaghaus. Find him on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe to his channel to find out more about what he's doing there. Hopefully, again, it's a lot of home brewers turn their turn their craft into a business. And I know you've hinted at it a couple of times, so you know you'll have at least one buyer for your shit, for your product. Anyway, hit them up, check them out. Also, make sure to hit me up down in the comments with the email link down there. Let me know what you think about the reviews on these beers, because chances are most of you aren't going to get a hold of them. At least not right away. But while you're down there, don't forget to like and share my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell icon so you get a notification every time I post a new one. Until next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. Jay, thank you again for the home brews. Really good fucking beers, man. Keep doing what you're doing. One of these days I'm going to get back on track and start brewing my own beer. I'll throw some your way too, and we'll see what you think about those. I know I've been saying that for over a year now. 2 years, I think. And anyway, life gets in the way, but things are getting less and less complicated by the day. Anyway, till next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. Cheers. Yeah, that's going to be gone before too long.